Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your January 2020 general readings. We are looking at the first half of January from the 1st through the 15th, the very first general reading of a brand new year. Welcome everyone. Welcome to newcomers. Welcome to followers and subscribers, and thanks to everyone for all the support, feedback, comments, everything that you do. I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday season and are looking forward to a brand new year. So this reading is for the water sign of Cancer for the first half of, hope I didn't just say December, habit. This is for Cancer, the water sign of Cancer for the first half of January 2020, January 1st through the 15th. That's Cancer Sun, Moon, Rising, if your Venus is in Cancer, or if you're cross-watching for a Cancerian as well. But watch all your other sign videos if you know them, if you can, because general readings always resonate a little differently, and watching your other relevant videos can provide additional clarification too. And if any of you are interested in reaching out for a personal one-on-one reading, if any of this resonates for you, just click on the description link below for more info and contact details. You can of course email me at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. That's also provided in the link. I offer a wide variety of readings in all the main areas of life. Love and romance, career, work, and finance, relationship compatibility readings. I also do 6 and 12-month overviews, which take a look at what's coming in your life over the next 6 or 12 months, depending on how far ahead you want to look. They're particularly popular this time of the year, although people order them at all times of the year. But as we are beginning a new year, I always get a lot of requests for them, so maybe something for you to consider for yourself, or personal readings as gifts for friends, family, and loved ones as well. All right, let's move right into this. Cancer, let's see what the first half of January has in store for you. All right, Cancer, we begin with the 9 of Swords. Too much stress, anxiety, and worry. With the 7 of Cups. We have the 3 of Wands, followed by the King of Cups. And from the bottom of the deck, overall energy is the 3 of Cups. Cancer, I feel like you're kind of holding a lot inside of you at this time, and kind of doing the Cancerian crab thing, kind of keeping a lot under your shell, although you may appear to be on the outside kind of even enjoying life or getting out there and perhaps partying or being very social with friends and family or in your community as well. I mean, your overall energy is the 3 of Cups, which is a card of kind of getting out there, being social, being around people that you really like, that appreciate you, or that you feel quite good around. It does have a very high social energy. Perhaps some of you may be utilizing this energy or going out as a way to kind of make you feel better, or sort of like social medication for an issue that on an internal level you're kind of stressed out and worried about what's going to happen in the future with something, but kind of keeping your emotions, doing the crab thing, kind of keeping all of this stress, anxiety, or worry, or your deeper, more intense emotions, you know, to yourself. Because your focus, and for some of you, your focus may be on distracting yourself at this time from something that is causing you a lot of stress, anxiety, and worry, but that you don't really want to, you don't want to spend too much time dwelling on, even though these feelings are kind of circulating underneath that. Because the 3 of Cups is sometimes referred to as the party card. It's a card about with a high level of social energy, getting out there, you know, celebrating, having a good time, drinking, dancing, listening to music, being around people that you really like, that you really appreciate, and that really like and appreciate you. This is a card also about positive social connections in your community, in your tribe, you know, kind of like your niche. So going out there and kind of enjoying yourself. But there is this kind of undercurrent, at least perhaps maybe it's just for some of you in the first week of January, coming out of the end of the year. Again, this is a general reading. Timing is always going to vary because there's so many of you watching. We have the 9 of Swords and the 7 of Cups, So here's all this stress, anxiety, worry, the insomnia card kind of, being almost consumed by either one overriding thought, as represented by the swords, because they represent mental energy, or a lot of different ideas and thoughts. This card often comes up when someone is in fear of the future, like how something is going to work or how something is going to play out. What do I do if this happens? What do I do if this doesn't happen? I bet this awful thing is going to happen, or something of that sort. And I feel like there's a real sense of uncertainty. You may have a lot of things kind of, I'm not sure what the issue is for you, Cancer. It might be, for some of you, this might be a relationship. It might be around finances. A job, a person in your life, whether it's someone that you're, it may be relationship oriented for some of you. It might have to do with the financial structure of your life, or it might be, a situation or a relationship that kind of has all of those things kind of connecting it as well. So the source of your stress, anxiety, and worry is the Eight of Cups. I pulled a clarifying card for that because I wanted to see. So the Eight of Cups is a card about leaving and walking away, turning your back on something because you find it ultimately disappointing and disillusionment. It's not fulfilling you. You're quite disappointed, and you're turning your back on it and contemplating perhaps, do I need to leave this situation? If so, where do I go? It's interesting because what also clarifies the Nine of Swords is the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups is a card about looking at multiple opportunities, multiple choices, but not perhaps being all that realistic, or not knowing which one of these is realistic, if any of them, because each one of the Seven Cups is filled with what appears to be something beautiful, perfect, almost impossibly so. And what they really represent is the promise or potential of something. So there may still be a bit of, the Seven of Cups often is a very dreamy sort of energy. We all need to have dreams and dream those dreams, but in order to make any dream manifest into reality, it requires, earth energy and air energy and fire energy in order to manifest something into being. It can't just kind of all stay in our heads, otherwise it doesn't ever really manifest. So this can sometimes be about fantasizing, daydreaming. Again, not bad, but if you actually really want to manifest one of these potentials, then you have to ask yourself which one of these is actually possible, if any of them, and act on that. And if you're in, and this is about a relationship, it's also dependent on whether the other person is also willing to put the effort into manifesting this as well. And there's a sense of thinking about all this, maybe still daydreaming or fantasizing about what this could be, turn into, but really feeling a lot of stress and anxiety in addition, because you're not sure about that. So, and the other clarifying card for that is the Eight of Cups, which is leaving and walking away. So, and then the card after the Eight of Cups, of course, is the Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment, is finding what you want. So the Seven of Cups is fantasizing about it, dreaming about it. The Eight of Cups is going, maybe I can't manifest any of these cups into reality, and I need to go off in search of my Nine of Cups, that true joy and fulfillment in having what I want. So, around the end of December, first week of January or so, there's all of this kind of uncertainty. And am I being realistic? Am I just deluding myself? Should I leave? Should I stay? Should I walk away? Is this even possible? But on the surface, there's all this socializing kind of going on while you're holding all of this within. And it actually makes my heart feel kind of heavy for you, Cancer. It doesn't feel like a truly awful, or I mean, what it looks like is that there might be moments, times, particularly, in your quiet times or late at night or early in the morning, perhaps when you can't sleep, which is usually, where our grief and our pain and our fear lives in those times. And it's during those times where it feels almost overwhelming. But then, there's all this other socializing. And I think, too, because the energy from the bottom of the deck, the Three of Cups, which is kind of the overall energy, can also represent not just your general focus for the time period we're looking at, which is the first half of January. It can also be advice from Spirit too, that during this time, while there may not be any answers or solutions forthcoming right now, what you may find helpful, what you may find encouraging, what you may just find a sense of relief and solace in is friends, your real friends, the people that really get you and appreciate you and make you feel good, and vice versa, and positive social connections in your community, in your niche, in your tribe, and the little places that perhaps you like to go to, whether it's an actual specific group of people or maybe a coffee shop you go to regularly, a lot of the people there, your favorite little places, specific people, is also going to be helpful during this time, so that you don't get too stuck for too long of periods of time in this, in this stress energy, of wondering if something is realistic or not, and whether or not you should leave and walk away. Because again, I get this sense that you're keeping a lot of this to yourself, because there's, the Nine of Swords is a lot of stress, anxiety, and worry, Cancer. But on the surface, you're kind of still getting out and doing things, and you're being advised to as well, to kind of help counterbalance this energy. And then next we have the Three of Wands and the King of Cups. So the Three of Wands, and in terms of time, although in general readings, time is always going to fluctuate for everyone watching. But this is showing up technically around the second week or so of January. I hope I'm not slipping up and saying December. If I do, I apologize. You just have it. This is for the first half of January for Cancer. Okay, so the Three of Wands is a much more positive card. This is a card about the future. This card talks about having a larger goal or something that you want, but along the road to achieving that goal, there are smaller goals that need to be met, smaller mileposts that need to be achieved as well. So the Three of Wands, we're just at a 3, so we're still early on in the path, 10 being completion. So this speaks of having done some footwork, having done some homework, some preparation, invested some effort, and you're waiting to see what the results are. This card can also represent seeing small positive manifestations of a larger goal while you're waiting for that big ship to come in. And clarifying, this is the King of Cups, the King of Cool, he's sometimes nicknamed. Cups represents water. It's governed by Cups represents emotions. It's governed by the element of water, so it represents the water mercurial world of our feelings, our emotions, relationships too. Kings and queens represent individuals who have reached the top of their suit. So they've reached a point of maturity and balance and responsibility and self-discipline over the character traits that are inherent or natural to them, to their suit. So this is the King of Cups, the King of Water, the King of Emotions. In other tarot decks, he's sometimes depicted as sitting on his throne on top of a body of water, on top of the emotions, and regardless of what the waves are doing, he's sitting there cool, calm, collected. He's in touch and in tune with his own emotions and the emotions of people around him, but he doesn't wear his emotions on his sleeve. He's pretty balanced with them. This may be a person who's kind of difficult to read. Another water sign like you, perhaps, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I think for many of you, it's just you. They can be a bit of a difficult read because they're very good at, I don't know if I really want to say hiding it, but they're very good at not allowing their emotions, their true emotions, to be seen unless they choose to do so, because they've reached such a level of maturity and balance and self-discipline around their own emotions. So I feel like for some of you, whatever the situation or relationship is, you have some sense, some hope still of looking forward positively in the future, although you may be keeping that to yourself. I feel like you're keeping a lot to yourself in terms of your own inner emotions, positive and negative, and stresses and challenges and hopes and fears during this time, Cancer. And I also feel like this Three of Cups may represent that some of you are just distracting yourself as much as possible with social life, with social activities. And while sometimes you have to be careful about doing that, I actually don't feel that here. I feel like that's a really good and relieving thing for those of you to do. And for those of you who aren't, the Three of Cups would be advice to, you know, get out there, because when we're in the midst of this kind of energy, that's all we can see is what the problems are. And the danger is that it becomes a short period of time becomes a long period of time, and we just become consumed. That's all we can see. And kind of getting out on a regular basis and being more in touch with life and with friends and community is going to help kind of offset and balance that emotions, even if it doesn't provide a specific solution. So let's pull one final guidance and advice card for you from Spirit, higher message from Spirit for you. We have the Star, beautiful card. This is a card of hope renewed, faith restored, renewed hope, faith, and optimism. It's a card about trusting in the universe, trusting in God, Spirit, your angels and guides, trusting that as long as you do everything that's in front of you to do, be the best person you can be. Sounds like the old Army commercial, huh? Actually be the best person you can be. Put one foot in front of the other, do what's in front of you to do, that you're on the right path and you're being guided by Spirit, even if you can't see the path in front of you, because it looks like you're just filled with fear and concern and anxiety and stress over what's going to happen. Is something possible? Is it not possible? What's going to happen? And not really knowing, but really kind of keeping that under the shell, keeping that to yourself. But Spirit is saying, you know, pull back from that energy, because you know, as long as you're doing everything that you can as a human being and the things that are set in front of you, Spirit has you. They're meeting and matching you every step of the way. And the Star is a card about having faith that the path that you're on, it does lead to your joy and fulfillment. So trust in that, even if an answer isn't forthcoming or a solution isn't apparent at this time. It's only a short period of time, just a couple of weeks, the first couple of weeks of January. So Cancer, that is your reading for the first half of January. I hope you found it helpful. If you are interested in reaching out for a personal reading, again, click the description link at the bottom where you'll find more info. You can email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you. I do readings full-time, 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. It's all that I do. So I'm pretty diligent at working with everyone's schedules to get readings out as quickly as I can. So if you're interested, send me an email, and I would be delighted to set something up for you. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the mid-month readings. Until then, I wish you a beautiful new beginning to this new year, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.